How do you get over someone? I'm still figuring that out too, but here are what helped me in the process. Asterisk, sit with your feelings. Acknowledge it. There will be days where you just want to cry and do nothing in bed. Let yourself grieve and cry. As many times as it takes. Asterisk, try to remove your ex from your social media feed. If you don't want to block them just yet, hide their posts, stories. This includes Spotify if you both have it. Limiting their visibility on your feed would reduce the unnecessary trigger points. Asterisk, if you don't want to delete your chats, archive them. This helped me a lot because I wanted to reconnect back so bad, but I know it won't yield any good outcome. So anytime I want to reconnect back, I made it hard for myself cause I need to go for the extra clicks. Asterisk, also, if you really want to reconnect and know you shouldn't, type what you want to say to your ex but don't send. Do something else like watch a YouTube video, have a meal, read, then come back to the text. Usually that urge subsides for me and I became more logical after walking away from it. Asterisk, remove photos that you took together out of your sight. Take down social media posts that you had with your ex. I couldn't bring myself to delete my whole year worth of photos in my phone, so I put them in my hard drive, which I don't usually reach out for unless I want to back up stuff. In a way, move the photos from your phone to some other drive that you don't usually see. Asterisk, when you can, pick up a new activity or pick up what you have dropped before. Could be as simple as researching on topics you were once interested in. Reading, watching shows that you never watched but said you would go to a cafe. Asterisk, this is a hard one, but I realize is required for me to outgrow my ex. To consciously keep letting go. Over and over again. It's gonna hurt cause random times a memory will come up from a simple action like going to the store, coffee, cooking, etc. This can happen as frequent as your brain wants it. When that feeling comes, go back to point 1. Then tell yourself that you are letting go of that. Let go of the expectations you have had for the future. Let go of that memory. TL. Doctor, sit with your feelings and cry as much as you need to. Remove your ex from any feed that you see, including photos, chats, social media, items too even. Do something new or something that you said you would but never got to do. Consciously letting go in your mind. That last bullet point though, it's the hardest and most heartbreaking one. I paid it, but you're right. It's what we have to do. Letting go of the future I thought we would have is the hardest thing ever. Time heals all wounds. I think there's at least some truth to that. I couldn't get over things for the longest time. But I kept distracting myself with work, self-improvement, and new hobbies. It hurts at first. A lot. But the mind is a powerful thing. I can talk to this person just as a platonic friendship now after years. See what they're up, laugh about things. It just takes time and some effort. I hope I can reach that point eventually. So it's good to know it's possible. Part of me still hopes that we might eventually get back together. That's what makes it difficult. But I guess with time that will stop as well. I'm in the same boat here. The hope makes it a bit agonizing and painful. We'll make it through with time. Stay strong. Play it out in your mind. Have the full unabashed conversation like that person was standing right in front of you. Talk to them. Remember why you aren't together. If it was mutual, then this usually works. If it's one-sided and your heart is broken, embrace it. Embrace the pain. Remember, if there isn't anything you can do about the situation, the only thing you can change is the way you react to it. Be more fatty. Love your fate. If this person you wish to get over has passed on, and everything in the world is muted, gray, dull, and terrible, then in my experience, getting over is not something you should really even attempt. That person, as all people, are never truly gone from this world until they are forgotten. It is your duty to live your life as best you can, never forgetting them, but also living as they would have wanted you to. Go on adventures, pet dogs, eat strange foods, read books that challenge your beliefs, grow as a person, and maybe one day find love again, knowing full well that they would approve. I'm 40 now, and it seems the older I get, the easier it becomes to walk away from people. I've met the love of my life 3 different times. I've loved women without ever telling them. I've been rejected, cheated on, dumped, ghosted, married and divorced. I've had one-night stands and 12-year relationships. The only thing I can tell you is that the people we chose to love leave pieces of themselves within us. Oftentimes, you don't even realize it until you have the strange desire to go to an IKEA on a Saturday afternoon. No idea why until you walk in and feel the nostalgia of walking around with someone, laughing at odd chairs, and wondering why this insignificant thing meant so much. That IKEA comment hits hard. I'm a month out of a breakup and feel like every action I take was influenced by my recently broken relationship. Hard to feel happy doing anything that we used to enjoy together without getting upset. Those IKEA words. I used to go with her to IKEA and we had so much fun. And now thinking about IKEA makes me sad because I know there isn't any person that could give me the same joy by just visiting IKEA. Poor IKEA. Losing business over Begses. And GT. Poor IKEA. Losing business over Begses. It would be funny but sad if IKEA gave a free plate at their famous Swedish meatball for anybody who recently broke up with their significant other who used to enjoy going to IKEA together. IKEA Heartbreak Meatball Special. Return with a heavy heart but leave with a full belly. There's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. I used to convince myself that I didn't think of him anymore, but the truth was I thought of him every day, until I didn't. People say you need time, but you also need patience. Just when I thought I was finally getting over him, I started to dream of him. I would wake up in tears because of how angry I was that I was doing so good on moving on, yet all it took was one 15-second dream to pull me back 20 steps. But in order to move on, you have to let yourself feel every emotion and have patience. This is exactly what is happening to me right now. It is frustrating. I was doing better. Now I dream about her every night since a few nights and it makes each start of my day a sad one. I improve during the day and then the cycle repeats itself. I want to reach out and talk every morning but I know it would only make it worse for me. I held myself back from texting until one day I didn't. The conversation quickly made me realize whoever I was dreaming about isn't the same person as them. The person in those dreams was my idea of them. Haven't dreamt about them or felt anything for it since. I also keep a list of things that led to things ending that I keep referring back to every time I start feeling something. I love this response. So true. I was having dreams about beautiful possibilities between my ex and I. But then last night I had a more realistic dream about him where we got back together and it was a nightmare. Also, the list is smart because when you miss someone all you focus on are the good memories emo. When you look at someone through rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. BoJack Horseman. Obviously, you'll try a million things, but the only real answers are time and or eternal sunshine of the spotless minding them. Just watch this movie. Such a great film that I took too long to watch. Maybe you watched it already and you just eternal sunshine yourself. I feel like eventually we'll get to a point where we'll collectively all go out for an evening of fun and snacks and having movies removed from our brains so we can be sold more tickets to the same movies, without the cumbersome and expensive step of having to rewrite and reshoot the movie first. Hollywood would make so much money on that technology. That's basically the point of remakes. Don't listen to sad songs or the songs you both like, it will scratch your heart every time. Good thing my ex had deep taste in music. HEYYOOOO. Tears and time. Takes a while but you will eventually figure out whether you actually miss them or the idea of them. Okay, so you've figured out that you miss them, not just the idea of them. What's next? That was my thought too. What happens if you genuinely miss them and not just the idea of them? Stop trying too hard to get over. When I had my first breakup, I tried too hard to distract myself and everything kept reminding me of her. The point being, if you feel sad, it's okay. If you miss them, it's okay. If you feel jealous seeing them with someone else, it's okay. If I could go back and do one thing differently was self-love. I did not love myself enough and kept thinking about what I could have done better. Now I am old enough to realize that relationship is two people and you can't keep it together just by yourself. It has already been suggested here. Love yourself more. Get healthy, fit, or learn a new hobby. Do something you always wanted to do but were too preoccupied to do before. Now I am old enough to realize that relationship is two people and you can't keep it together just by yourself. This. So much this. I'm reading these replies with interest. Today would have been our 14-year anniversary if he hadn't ended it last year. I I think it's so hard because I'm so close to his family and still see them. I can't cut them out of my life, and yet it means I'll always have reminders of him. I don't want to find someone else. I'm never letting myself be destroyed again. I just want to get over him. Oh man, this really bummed me out. Sad face. It will get better, I promise. Time plus active life. It helps to be socially, physically, intellectually, creatively active and growing. This builds new layers of experiences and memories which help bury the past and gives rise to opportunities to recover from those old wounds and move forward, embracing new things, places, and people. Time alone isn't enough. The old hurt can remain close to the surface without piling on a well-lived life on top of what you want to leave behind. It's not a way to compartmentalize. It's more about embracing your own life and living it rather than letting it trauma kneecap you and causing it to hurt you in the long run. Bad things happen, but you have to keep moving forward to get to the other good things you shouldn't miss out on. I'm in my 50s, so I've gone through some of this and dealt with it both ways. Moving forward is the better way. Definitely active life too. This whole pandemic and quarantine thing set me back a couple of months. Same here. I can't go out and do anything. Can't meet new people. Even if I'm not looking for anything right now, it would be nice to at least get some practice in talking to new people again. Maybe get a little crush on someone so I could momentarily forget about my ex. I need to be more active, but it's kind of like, what's the point if I'm not meeting anyone anyway? I know I should be active for me and not other people, but the motivation is just not there. I just want to lay around and watch TV. I'm not even into my hobbies at the moment. It has been 5 months since my broken engagement, and I feel like I should be further along in the healing process. Coronavirus is really putting a damper on that sad face. I think being active is just a great way to distract yourself. I got really into rock climbing the last time I had a bad breakup, and it was nice to have something to focus on that wasn't my sadness. But if you're not feeling it, it's okay to honor that too. My suggestion would be to make yourself do something active or pursue a hobby once a week or so, like do something Wednesday, where you make sure to do any sort of activity as long as it's not loafing on the couch. You might find you enjoy it, and it's easier to stick to if you have a set day of the week.